Hey there, this is Sara Oehler with Soft Company, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really cute little bracelet. This particular bracelet is great for Valentine's Day, but it can be adapted to just about any holiday or occasion that you can think of by changing out the connector in the middle. And it's going to be super easy for anybody to put together. So let's get started. Today we're using Soft Touch Beading Wire in our fine diameter. The fine is great for seed beads and freshwater pearls, but it's also great for these little tiny gemstones that oftentimes cannot go on any of the thicker diameters. So to get started, I'm just going to take a little bit of wire off the spool. Soft Touch is just like Soft Flex, which is our original brand, but it's 50% softer and more flexible. So it drapes just a little bit more like a thread, and it's perfect for a project like this where you don't need any color. It really only comes in the satin silver in this diameter, so it's just a great fit for this particular project. To get started, I am going to use a 2x2 millimeter crimp tube. I'm using a Soft Flex crimp tube, which is double the wall thickness of most and also seamless, so it's really strong. And that's really important because your crimps are tiny, but they hold up the whole design. So you always want to make sure you're using a quality crimp, and you should always ask the manufacturer if they're seamless. That's the best question. So I strung the clasp onto the wire, and now I'm going to string it back through the crimp tube. And I'm just going to anchor it down, leaving just a little bit of room between the crimp and the clasp. I'm going to maneuver my wires so that they're side by side rather than crisscrossing like this. And that'll keep it so that it's a nice straight connection. We have plenty of videos and tutorials on how to crimp. I'm just going to go through the basics, but by all means you can look on our website www.softflexcompany.com for close-up pictures or watch any of our other crimping videos to get a better idea. There are 2 holes in the crimping pliers. The front hole is completely round. The back hole has a tooth in it. I'm going to use that back hole first, which we call the crimper, and I'm going to compress. And this will actually create a divot in my crimp tube, so it looks almost like a little C shape when I put it on its side. Then I'm going to take that same crimp and I'm going to put it into the rounder, which is the front hole of the crimping pliers. And I'm going to go ahead and compress again. And then I'm going to go around it a few times with that rounder, just tightening and compressing. What's happening is that metal of the crimp is actually cinching down into the nylon coating of the Soft Touch wire. And that is going to ensure that it doesn't slip or slide around, and I can actually really pull on this, and I'm going to have a nice strong connection. The next step is just to take a nice flush flat cutter. I'm using my Soft Flex cutters, which I love. They cut really close, and they are really strong. They last for a really long time. So I've got my wire all set up. I need it about the size of my wrist, so I'm not going to go overboard in measuring. Just do a quick measurement, snip some wire, and then for these bracelets, all I did was a random assortment. So for instance, if I unlock this, you'll see that there's no rhyme or reason to how many beads I put on, so I just strung a couple of amethyst beads, and then one of these little metal beads. Most of the parts and pieces that I'm using today are from Plazko.com. They also sell Soft Flex beading wire, so it's a great location to pick up your products. So again, I'm going to randomly string all the way to the other end, and to finish it off, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to crimp to a clasp on both sides. just as you can see I've done here. And what's great about this is you can actually change out the connector. You can change out how many strands. If you just want to do one strand, for instance, you can take these two off, and then you have a way to connect on either side of this little cute heart connector from Plazko. You can also change out the connector, like I said at the beginning, so it can be different holidays. It can be also a spacer bar that has multiple loops hooked on either side. And that way you can connect to both ends. Think of like a slider clasp. So you can switch out the finding on this design really easily. And then you can decide if you want to do one strand or several strands just by hooking on with the clasps on either end. Again, because I use Soft Touch, you're going to find that this is a really soft, really supple design. So thank you for spending a little bit of time with me today. If you found this tutorial useful, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel or get notifications for our videos on Facebook. We try to do a new video every week, and you can actually find us doing live videos on Facebook on a fairly regular basis. So please tune in and check out all of our different videos. You can find more information about us as a company on our website, www.softflexcompany.com, and you can find some of the products that I used today on a website of one of our partners, Plazko.com. Thank you. Have a great day.